Hello everybody and welcome to Storm Reads, and today I'm going to be doing a September wrap-up. So I'm going to be doing my September wrap-up, and I'm going to try to do it fairly quickly and everything and hope it all goes smooth. And so I'm just going to jump right into the books and all of that because I do want to try to make this quick and not rambly. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so in September, I read 18 books. And so I participated in the Everbloom Academy. I also participated in series in September. I didn't do so well on my own thing that I usually do for series, which is seconds in September. But I had a lot of things going on that I was reading, and so, it is what it is. I still read on series, and that's the whole goal anyway. So, first off, here I have my Everbloom Academy TBR. I don't remember what books went for what prompt, but I do know that I completed all of my books, and that is what counts. So, first off, we have School Freezes Over by Jack Shalbert, and this is the fifth book in the Eerie Elementary series, and it's a lot of fun. I don't necessarily find this series to be spooky. Some of the graphics, some people might think are a tiny bit spooky, but I don't really think it would be that spooky for people that are on the fence about it or whatever. I would say try the first book and see what you think. But I think it's fun. Then we have Hour of the Hunters, and I have my own little copy that I remembered that I had, and so I like the copy that I have on here better with the lizard and everything. This is like a newer copy, but hey, it was getting one of the books that I own read. Was not a huge fan of Hour of the Hunter by J.A. Jance. This is the first book that collectively we have not enjoyed as a group. It just was so different than Beaumont and Brady, but I am kind of curious to see how it's going to go from here on out. But so far, the first book in the Walker series was not fun. And then I have Break the Game by Andrew Alcyon, and this is Spellbinders number 2, which I thought was okay, but I think I'm finding out that I'm just not as huge of a fantasy middle grade person as I used to be. I think there'll be some that will still catch my eye and that I will enjoy, but on a whole, I used to like them a whole lot more than I have been lately. So I thought this was okay, but I think others will probably enjoy it more. And then I have Be Careful What You Wish For by R.L. Stine, which was Goosebumps. I want to say was number 11, but I am not totally sure. I read a couple of Goosebumps, and I don't remember which one was which and like where I'm at. We all know I'm like not very good at that. And it was fun. And then I have Death at an Irish Wedding by Ellie Brannigan. This one will also work for Seconds in September because it is the second book in the Irish Castle series. And I do remember what this one was for. This one was for a book I don't hear people talk about. And you will see in another section in here that I had a hard time with that one because I ended up DNFing a couple. And this one finally stuck. So I was excited that I finally got one that stuck. And I did enjoy this one. I liked it a lot better than the first book. So if you read the first book and you don't like one of the characters because she is so grumpy and irritating, she's a lot better in this one. So just, continue on to the second book because I did like it. And then we have My Mummy versus Your Ghost by Paul Tobin. I enjoyed this, but it's got, I don't think it'll ever be a favorite series. I think it's really cool though that I have a copy. I got this from Katie. She sent it my way, and that is awesome. And it's I think the kids will enjoy this because I think for adults you really have to suspend your disbelief quite a bit. But I do think if you have middle graders who are into like monsters and everything, that it's not extremely scary, but there will be some intense fight scenes between the two monsters that could be slightly spooky. But other than that, it's more like, I would say, an adventure, like with a little action and just learning about monsters in general and everything. This is also works for Seconds in September because this is the second book in the Versus series. And then you will see that I have another DNF here, and that was the Myth of Monsters #1, which was Medusa by Catherine Marsh. This one just didn't go over well with me. I didn't like some of the characters and how they were treating adults, and just it was just pushing like a lot of things that I don't care for. I am not I keep saying it, I'm not a huge like feminist, and one of the things that'll get me to like uh close a chapter on a book quicker or not even look at a book is if I even see that remotely in the blurb that it says it's a feminine whatever or a feminist la la la. I won't read it. And so I didn't like this one. I think that other people will enjoy it. It wasn't for me. And then we have Dead to Rights by J.A. Jance, which was a Brady #4. And so much better than Hour of the Hunter. And I'm Beaumont will always be my favorite. But I think Brady right at this moment is contender for #2. And Walker is at the bottom. We haven't tried Allie Reynolds yet, so I don't know where that one will land. Will We haven't tried Allie Reynolds yet, so I don't know where that one will end up. But so far, it's Beaumont and then Brady. She's really sassy, and I like her. And so that completed the Everbloom Academy. And then I had 6 buddy reads in the month of September. And so I had The Unholy by Heather Graham. It's the 6th book, I believe, in the Crew of Hunter series, and I buddy read that with my friend Barb. Had Murder in Rose Hill by Victoria Thompson, and that finished up a series, a long series too. That was #27. So it's kind of nice to get a long series off of my TBR, but it was also sad because it's my favorite series. But it was very enjoyable. And then Payment in Kind, which is Beaumont #9, I believe, because we're on 10 now. Yeah, #9. And of course, it was very good. And then, of course, Dead to Rights by J.A. Jance and Hour of the Hunter by J.A. Jance, all read by the Jance Buddy Reading Crew. And so then I had Ghost Story, which I forgot. I had Ghost Story by Jim Butcher, so reading another book that I own, which is super cool. And I got this for my birthday and from Lisa, and so it was nice to be able to read one of these and actually have my hands on it. And so that's all the buddy reads. And so the other seconds in September that I had, as you can see, is not very big because I only had 2, which is Solid Gold Murder by Ellen Byron, which it was okay, but I just don't know if this series is going to be a favorite for me. I can't really put my thumb on it. Like, I don't know exactly what it is. Besides the fact that I just really think it's strange that the main character and her ex run a business. And are like best friends. I don't know. That's just kind of strange. But that's just a me thing and everything. So I just don't know. I don't know. I just don't care for it as much. I give it like 3 stars probably, or maybe 3.5, somewhere around there. And then I had The Hidden Staircase by Carolyn Keene, and this is the 2nd book in the Nancy Drew series. And I liked it way more than the first book. There was a tad bit more action. It was a little bit more interesting to me than book 1. And then I have what I call my add-ons, and these are books that I didn't have specifically on my TBR, but I decided to read them anyway. And so we have Piano Lessons Can Be Murder by R.L. Stine, and this one was fun, and the ending was weird, but I don't see how it could have ended any other way. And so, yeah, it was just fun. And then Creepy Crayons finished out a picture book trilogy and everything, and it was super cute. I love Jasper Rabbit. He's adorable, and I wanted to finish up that trilogy so that I could go into the other one that you see that's down here that I'll mention in a minute. But first, we have Quentin Dirk's Hero Quest by Max Brailer. It's 7.5 in the Last Kids on Earth series, and such a fun series. Definitely more action adventure slash kind of fantasy, I guess. In the vein of fantasy is that there's monsters and things in it. I guess maybe it could be paranormal. I'm not exactly sure where to classify the monsters that are in it. If you would classify them as paranormal or fantasy. So, either way, it's fun. And then I have Troubling Tonsils by Aaron Reynolds. And did I say that Creepy Carrots was Aaron Reynolds too? Because I may have forgotten. Anyway, this is Jasper Rabbit's Creepy Tales #1. And I would say that the author has decided to take maybe the kids that read the picture books of Creepy Crayons and are growing up with them with a chapter book with Jasper Rabbit. And Jasper Rabbit is telling a creepy tale about a marmot named Charles who has had some troubling tonsils. And it was really cute. And then The Poacher's Son by Paul Dwarin. This is the first book in the Mike Bowditch. I looked at this the other day. Bowditch, I think, series, because I keep wanting to call it something else, but it's Bowditch. And I really enjoyed it. I think it was a nice, solid first book in a series. And so I'm curious to see how that one's going to go going forward. And that's the last of the books that I read. And then I had 2 DNFs. Murder is a Must by Marty Wingate. It's the second book in the first edition library. And then Murder in Bloomsbury by D.M. Quincy. And it was the second book in the Atlas Catesby mysteries. I would say I'm going to call these soft DNFs. If I find myself wanting to try these again, I will have to start over with book 1. There was just something about these that I just couldn't get into because I couldn't remember what happened in the first book. And it was just bothering me. And so I had to put them to the side. And I've not been in a huge cozy mystery reading phase at the moment. And that could have had a little bit to do with it too. But anyway, that's everything. Yay! So there it is. All the books read in September, DNF'd in September, and all that good stuff. I think overall I had a pretty decent month reading wise. I mean, yeah, I did have 3 DNFs, but a couple of them were DNF'd really quickly. Like, I just knew this wasn't going to work and I just quit. The other one, I had to read it to at least 50% to count it for the readathon. And since I was so far into it anyway, I just went ahead and done so. But yeah, so I was glad whenever I got to the 50%. But yeah, so overall though, I think the good outweighed the bad. And so I'm going to call it a win. And so let me know, what was your #1 favorite book in the month of September? And I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!